It's Riff Arcade. I'm Josh. He's Butts, and today we are going to continue playing some Pilotwings 64, starting with the Hang Glider.
I believe I could fly.
Goose. All right.
Just don't eject with Goose.
Yeah. No. So we are leaving the warm tropical climes of Holiday Island, and we're going to Everfrost Island, where it's frosted forever.
Forever, yeah.
Anyway.
Everfrost Island. Fun fact, surrounded by water. It's an island.
Yeah. They're all islands in this game.
Don't let the name fool you. It's more of a peninsula. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, those updrafts?
They are. The little brown, those little brown dookie spots on the map. Fun fact, not dookie spots. They are updrafts. Of dookie.
Yeah. They smell terrible, though.
Whoop, there we go. Yeah.
Oh, it's nice and gentle. It's not like it throws you up. Okay.
Yeah. I'm ready. There's a 5-second film where there's a kid standing on a kite, and he goes, "I'm ready, Dad." And his dad turns around and goes, "No!" And then just cuts to him flying through the air. Oh. And I'm up.
I'll put it out in the water. No, Josh, no. What was that? Fly through a factory?
It was an oil refinery flame. And let me tell you, Michael Butts, it'll really cook your goose.
Yay, because his name is Goose. All right. Going easy. Oh, God. Oh, nope. Oh, very nice.
We'll take it. So, that was terrible. Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man, you threw down. 56.
It's because I smacked down on the...
Yeah, you broke all your ribs.
There. So, I've left you guys waiting for too long. I can tell you about my... why I stopped looking up everything all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And that was basically, in 1997, I started playing Final Fantasy VII. And, let me get this out of the way first. This is going to be just go...
Yeah.
Hold on to your butts. Basically, I was playing Final Fantasy VII, and I bought a hint book for it. And, long story short, I was looking up everything on it and realized that included... Oh,
God. Oh, God. You pancaked on the mountain.
He's dead.
Oh, God. Yeah, he's dead.
Real,
just don't even show us the wreckage.
But, the Final Fantasy VII hint book I bought also spoiled the entire story, including, some bits I won't reveal to you now. And, that was basically the point where I said, okay, I now value story over, alright, I think I missed one ring, but that's okay. I started valuing the story over, over not knowing how to do things and not knowing what was coming up. And that was the point in my life where I was finally getting good enough at video games that I didn't have to look them up anyway, so it worked out.
Much better that time. Yeah, I have a theory about games is that people either are not all about, but like they're mostly about story or they're mostly about gameplay. Like that's what drives people to like a game or not like a game. And you can find examples on either side of that. So like you are a story person. Like the controls can be kind of weird. It can be kind of... Okay. They can be kind of wonky controls and clunky interface, but as long as the story's good, you're in, right?
Yes. So, point in case, the Uncharted games. Like, Butts, I've tried to get you into the Uncharted games, and they just didn't click. And I think that's basically why, is that, Uncharted is a whole lot of story for, a little bit of gameplay.
Yeah. I think gameplay, I think I'm a little more on the gameplay side of things. Because, like, case in point, Super Metroid, there's hardly any story there.
True.
But it's all about the gameplay. It's all about exploration and finding stuff. So that's not to say I don't like story. I mean, like, one of my favorite games is BioShock Infinite, and that's just, like, a great. Like, as a shooter, it's all right, but it's got an amazing story. But as a general, it's gameplay for me. Just ekes out story, and you're the other way. Story will win over gameplay for you.
Yes. But again, like you said, don't get me wrong, I like good gameplay, and I will play games that are just good gameplay. So yeah, we're take everything but said and swap the words around, and that's me.
And coming.
Yep.
Oh, you're tight. You probably took too long.
Maybe. Well, I mean, actually.
Well, that was perfect. Okay.
That's right,
This
Butts.
is a silly game.
Witness perfection. Yeah.
Yeah. Perfection. Yeah.
This is a silly game. Touch a go.
And that music. You also kind of...
Oh, yeah.
That Final Fantasy thing spoiled you. You went hard in the other direction, and now you hate all spoilers of any kind.
Correct.
Like, you're just like, nope, learn my lesson.
Yeah, I don't know if I've mentioned it on other Riff Arcade episodes or on the streams or what, but I mean, there have even been times like I don't. Oops. Whoops.
You're wearing a jet belt. You gotta pay attention.
I know. I don't usually do this with movies, but it's usually more video games than movies. But like even when was it Endgame came out and you saw Endgame before I did, and I was don't talk to me until I've seen this movie.
Yes. Yep. We went radio silent. I was like, okay, well, you just tell me when. I can talk to you. I hope you don't die.
Yeah.
Yeah. See you
Like the friendship temporarily ended until I can watch Endgame. That's basically how it was. And so other case in point was when my cousin Spence, he got smacking these targets. When he got Final Fantasy VII Remake before I did, he was like, Josh, let me tell you. And I said, you can end the conversation right now. If you say another word, I hang up this phone. And he was like, okay.
Do not spoil it for Josh.
Yeah. I will not do spoilers. Yeah, I went hard in the story direction. Once, and I think Final Fantasy VII was that turning point in my life. That was the point where I started really valuing story more highly than gameplay.
Now, is it true? Oh, there we go. That you bought Final Fantasy VII on a whim? You were just like, this looks fine, whatever.
That's correct. I was in On Q, which was a bookstore. It's like a medium bookstore. It's in the On Q in Thomaston, Georgia. And
beautiful. Thompson.
I held in my well. Anyway.
Thompson, Georgia.
Regular plain old Thomaston, Georgia. Anyway, picture this, if you will. I have in my hands Final Fantasy VII for the PlayStation and the Frogger adaptation for PlayStation.
Tough call.
One of these games you've still heard of, and one of them you have not. And I was about to buy Frogger. Because I played RPGs, but I wasn't like hard into them yet. I flipped over Final Fantasy VII, and I said, I'm gonna try this one. And cut to a month later, I'm just like,
Vomiting and happiness and joy.
Sick lark.
I just find that poetic balance that you bought the game on a whim. I'm just like, yeah, fine, whatever. And it's one of the greatest games of all time.
Yes.
And you learned of its twist on a whim as one of the greatest twists of all time. I'm just like, it's spoiled. Okay, well.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot what episode it was, but I've already talked of how the Eris thing was spoiled for me. But and speaking of which, one thing that really cooks my noodle was is in the remake. I know in Japan her name was always Aerith, and it sounds like Earth, and it goes correctly with the Japanese pronunciation of the kanji, but Aerith, I so much prefer Eris.
Oh, you say Eris?
Eris, yeah. It sounds so much more like, a real name to me.
Yeah.
And it doesn't sound like someone saying Eris with a lisp.
Aerith.
Aerith. No.
So just so you know, so you can sleep at night, Final Fantasy VII got a 9.5 out of 10 on this review I'm looking at, and Frogger, for comparison, got a 2 out of 10. So,
oh, good. I'm glad I did that.
You almost didn't, but then you did. Yeah.
Almost didn't, but then I did. I'm glad I did that.
Good call on that one. Yeah, Frogger. Isn't there a lot of controversy? In fact, we're not talking about this game at all.
We are not.
Yeah, this is fine.
We'll come back to
this. A lot of controversy in Final Fantasy about name pronunciations, because I don't know anything about Final Fantasy except for 14, and I barely know about that because I die all the time.
Uh-oh, pass one. I'm come back around.
Swing back around.
This is your captain speaking. We are going to add 40 minutes to our flight to San Jose because I missed a ring. Sorry, that's my bad. I missed that ring. Coming around. Okay.
Then you get the unintelligible
Okay, I've completely lost where that ring is. Oh, okay,
you don't know where the rings are? Well,
there it is. There it is. I was like, it's somewhere inside this mountain at this point.
Windy Valley. There we go.
Yes, you mentioned a controversy, and go.
It's just that isn't there a lot of debate about how to pronounce names in that series?
Yeah, well, a lot of that deal is more than half of the Final Fantasies that exist came around before voice acting. So, and back before we could just YouTube some interviews and pronunciations, we just had to figure it out on our own. But that being said, I'm glad to announce for you Chrono Trigger fans that in the Final Fantasy VII Remake, there's a woman named Marle, M-A-R-L-E, and it's pronounced Marle, which is how I always pronounced it as a kid, so I feel redeemed.
Stupid English with its vowels that you can pronounce two, three different ways.
A lot of people pronounce it Marley. Yeah.
Marley? I would have gone with Meryl or something like that.
Meryl, yeah. Meryl. That's Pokemon. Okay, yes, back to this game.
Oh, yeah, you're way over water now.
So anyway, we're playing Pilotwings 64 and not Final Fantasy anything.
Yeah.
Despite what you may have been thinking if you podcast these episodes.
Yeah. Josh is flying through the rings to summon a meteor. Yeah.
Yes, that's right. This is how Sephiroth did it.
And there we go. Now, you think Sephiroth could fly a gyroscope? Or a gyrocopter? Whatever that thing is.
Of course.
I think so. Okay.
I've just found the black materia. I'm going to use that to destroy all humankind and become a god. Yeah, that'll be about how that goes.
As long as he gets us to Dallas in time, I don't care what he does afterwards.
Yeah. As long as I don't have to make a layover. All right.
Yeah.
So, Butts, it's time to play with missiles.
Oh, thank God. Yes. Now we're talking. Highway to the copyright protection. Oh, no. Oh, you can go first person mode? Is that something
Yes.
you can do, or is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You can do it. And bring up the targeting reticule.
Flight of the Valkyries plays.
Love the smell of napalm in the morning.
Is that a boat? Oh, get that boat. Get that boat.
And now I'm the Joker. But you're loving that a little too much.
Yeah, like Sephiroth. Yeah, he became a god now. He's raining down destruction upon everybody. Yeah.
This would be like if summoning Meteor didn't quite pan out, so now he's just like, well, I found a gyrocopter.
There's that.
My, oh my. Okay, here we go. Bullseye.
Nice, there we go.
No look.
Yep. Yeah,
Right.
Nice. My house.
We're bringing it home. So yeah, as you can see, bringing it back to Pilotwings.
This is how you unwound, huh?
It
Nice,
really was,
stressful.
Butts. It really was. In beautiful Thomaston, Georgia. No.
Yeah.
No.
A lighthouse? Nice.
It is! You want to blow it up?
Yeah.
Goodbye, landing pad. We've got a lighthouse to destroy. Some lighthouses and they're rotating lights and they're bringing boats in.
Yeah.
So they don't.
Like, let's see if I shore now. Boats. I hate to see it. Everything in it. Yeah. We can blow it up. Holy crap.
I mean, unfortunately, there's no terrain destruction, Unreal Engine 3 built into this game, but
Probably a good thing, because I think most kids would just immediately like, well, everything's gonna die now. Like, game doesn't want that. This is a Nintendo game after all. And very nice lady.
boom, almost right on the line. So as you can see, they kind of mixed up the islands for this one.
Lost 9 points, not from killing everything.
Probably from blowing up that lighthouse.
Yeah.
Now, Josh, you did great on your gyrocopter flight license qualification. Do you want to address this lighthouse you blew up, though? We typically don't do that. You're gonna have to knock it off.
You gave me the missiles. I need to use the missiles.
So the last thing I'm going to
when-
mention...
That's when a second person comes up and goes, wait. Josh shows you don't really care about this flight thing. Your missile license, you did great. So we're going to give you a missile license.
You got a 100 on marksmanship.
Yeah.
So we did, as I mentioned, we did Everfrost Island. But here in the class, what is it, Class A? The Class A, we've switched up and gone to all the other islands. So you saw the gyrocopter went to Crescent Island, which is just kind of another holiday retreat. But here's the kicker, the one that gets me. There's also Little States, which is an island in the middle of the ocean that is a scale replica of the United States of America.
Huh. That's
Well, it's really funny.
Yeah, okay.
The funniest thing I want to point out is, like, as you go across the map, there's like the Grand Canyon to the left over here, and then like the two big cities. There's LA on the left, and like you can kind of see New York over to the right, and of course the Great Plains has Great Plains in the middle. But what's really funny is Butts and I have lived most of our lives in Georgia, and if you look in Georgia, what that is it's basically just an interstate exit with like a gas station and truck parking. And that is legit. That is all Georgia is. That's can confirm. So
Looks like it's Charlotte kind of above it, too.
that is a nuclear power plant that's up the road from it. So I don't know if there's a nuclear plant in Charlotte or what. But
I don't know. I'm about to find out. I kind of hope so and not at the same time.
But anyway, so with that little tidbit mentioned, I think we'll call that an episode. Thanks for watching Pilotwings 64. We'll do another episode. We're going to do another Pilotwings, so stick around and we will see you then next time on Riff Arcade.
Yep. Keyboards, go.